Dee-dee-doo, dee-dee-doo. It's EL at 10 every day.
Welcome back to EL at 10, where we conduct daily debates surrounding all topics from futuristic sci-fi activity to classic historical circumstances. If you're hearing this sharp, you may realize I am not Esther nor Lizzie. My name is Claire Jennings, and I will be today's debatical host whilst the E and the L are catching up on the reading. Without further ado, hop aboard. We're exploring the deep mystery of the Lost City of Atlantis. The Lost City of Atlantis originates from a book written in 355 BC by a Greek philosopher named Plato. According to the book, an empire was created west to the Pillars of Hercules, now called the Strait of Gibraltar. An island there had established a nation, thanks to Poseidon, the god of the sea. The land was sectioned off into 10, one for each of Poseidon's heirs, 5 sets of twins, and the firstborn named Atlas would have the island named for him. Back then, Atlantis was advanced through architecture and engineering, composing of concentric walls and canals. The center consisted of a hill, with a temple to Poseidon at the top. The inside was a gold statue of Poseidon driving 6-winged horses. However, the people became more greedy, which displeased the gods watching them. They decided to destroy the island and all the residents living on it. A violent earthquake occurred, to which created giant waves that overcame the island, and infamously, Atlantis sunk into the sea to never breathe air again. It has been said that Atlantis was a real place and would be discovered one day. It also has been said that Atlantis was merely just the setting of a story about war. How do we know? When the idea came into place, some explorers and scientists set on to find it. One of the closest ties to Atlantis' existence was the island of Crete. K.T. Frost, a professor of history, Spiridion Marianatos, an archaeologist, and A.G. Galanopoulos, a seismologist, first suggested the idea. They thought instead of Atlantis being west and 2,500 miles from Egypt, it would be east and 250 miles from Egypt. And instead of the island's parish being 9,000 miles before Plato's writing, it would be 900 years. It was once an island of the powerful Minoan Empire, which dominated the eastern Mediterranean before 1500 BC. It was proven to be home to extraordinary architecture, agriculture, and culture. However, this civilization vanished out of existence, with geological studies concluding it was due to a catastrophic disaster. Near an island called Santorini, located 80 miles north of Crete, a volcano was placed at its center, with multiple islands ringing around it. Around 1500 BC, the island exploded tremendously, creating a massive explosion. Scientists compared it to the 1883 Krakatoa volcano, the loudest and most historical volcanic eruption, creating 120-foot tsunamis and blackening the sky with ash for a few days. It killed over 30,000 people and could be heard as far away as 3,000 miles. According to the scientists, Santorini eruption was 4 times more powerful than Krakatoa's. The tsunami from the Santorini eruption hit Crete and traveled more than half a mile inland, destroying all towns and housing present. Ships were stuck in less than a minute. The empire fell, and Crete's civilizational presence was gone. At first glance, Crete's destruction and Atlantis' perish was described with very similar outcomes, and both civilizations shared an architectural and agricultural advantage. Even with similar political statuses, where women had equal legal status with men and both cultures enjoyed the sport bull leaping, it almost completely clicks, with the issue being the time confusion and location mishap. According to Mark Adams's book, Meet Me in Atlantis Across 3 Continents in Search of the Legendary Lost City, the mystery of Atlantis' whereabouts popularized thanks to a congressman from Minnesota, Ignatius Donnelly. Donnelly wrote in his 1882 book, The Antediluvian World, that today's technological advancements and civilization strengths could trace back to Atlantis. This promoted Atlantis and the idea of diffusionism, where the benefits of society can be traced to a single society. However, many claims and theories made for Atlantis up to today were proven wrong. In Donnelly's case, according to Mark Adams and Charles Darwin, Donnelly was said to be skeptical. Donnelly is responsible for implanting his own myths and facts about Atlantis in order to be able to envision Atlantis to his own preference. Adams concluded that Donnelly, quote, knew the results he wanted, and rummaged through his sources, searching for only those facts that fit his needs, without pausing to know any reasonable doubts." End quote. However, Donnelly is still considered to be one of Atlantis' greatest historians, and encouraged many writers and scientists to apply their speculations into the story. An example is Edgar Cayce, a psychic who applied a Christian turn to Atlantis, claimed to many people that they lived past lives in Atlantis, and wrongly predicted Atlantis' discovery to be 1969. A second example is Charles Berlitz, a writer who claimed Atlantis was swallowed by the Bermuda Triangle, with those that believed the theory linking it to the discovery of walls and streets off the coast of Bimini, of the Bahamas. It was then concluded to be beach rock formations naturally created thanks to the beauty of erosion. It's pretty suspicious that so many claims and truths made were proven to be false, unreliable, or biased. There are more ideas to Atlantis' disappearance than the one I just mentioned. From changing Plato's literary mistakes to Atlantis once being Antarctica, we have never been able to find the great continent after all. There are many believers, though, scientifically and geologically, there is no evidence of Atlantis existing, nor is there any way it could have existed. For a more straightforward conclusion, Atlantis was just a literary element through a fable of mythology and civilization created through the imagination of Plato. Throughout what has survived upon discovery, there are no written documents, nor are there any texts from ancient Greece that can be proven as evidence of a great and powerful civilization called Atlantis, or even declaring if Atlantis was existent or invented. There is also no communication before Plato's time to Atlantis, which, according to archaeologist Ken Feeders's Encyclopedia of Dubious Archaeology, was a wealthy and advanced society to which was corrupt with its powerful military, and would rather attack than welcome. Additionally, many explorers who ventured to discover Atlantis and experts who scientifically attempted to track Atlantis' whereabouts could find no evidence of an underwater city. There have been many advancements in mapping the ocean floor and the tectonic plates over the years. However, for a continent as big as, quote, Libya and Asia combined, according to Plato, it would be questionable to not locate that great of a mass below the ocean. Furthermore, the seafloor drifts as the continents drift, and tectonics cannot shift similarly to Atlantis' sinking, where it diminished below sea level. As Ken Feeder concludes, quote, "Together, modern archaeology and geology provide an unambiguous verdict. There was no Atlantic continent. There was no great civilization called Atlantis." In my opinion, I agree with Ken. There simply cannot be any way Atlantis existed. It turned out to be one incredibly successful story. Alright, lovelies, I have said what I have had to say. My apologies if I am now a picky killjoy. My conclusion is my own. Now that you've listened to me, has anything changed for you? Do you continue to stand by your own opinion? If you have, to be quite honest, I'm a little bit jealous. Where do you find your reliable information? All ideas aside, this meeting has now been adjourned. I am Claire Jennings. This has been EL at 10. Bye!
Do 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 do.